I'm going to share my testimony regarding how I ended up where I've ended up. I've asked Lucy to help me read it.
Hey guys, so before coming to faith, born in Liverpool in 1981. So my dad divorced my mum when I was 4, and I grew up meeting my dad every Saturday. In the early years it was pretty good, but then I fell out with Dad's new girlfriend at the time because she was trying to discipline me. And I was throwing stones at cars, racing on a speedway track. She tried to hit me, so I hit her back, and then I fell out with my dad and struggled to speak with him after that and since then. So life with Mum was okay, but I didn't get on well with my mother's boyfriend. When I was 10, I was taken into care because I had some emotional and behavioural issues, and so got sent to special schools. Some of this was linked to spending a lot of time with my nan rather than with my mother and having a stronger bond with my nan. I was in care till I was 16, and during this time I was abused by a teacher's assistant. At the time I didn't really understand what and why, and I ended up feeling very confused and just lost. As a result, I moved schools, and there was a lot of bullying at the time. So this resulted in me becoming a lot more streetwise, but also more aggressive and fighting back more. Then I started to get into all sorts of trouble because of all the anger I had. I even fought with my teachers, and they used to put me in a room known as the personal support unit, which was a concrete room with just a skylight. I was in there for a day and a night, and this was meant to help calm me down. This school eventually closed down, and I was moved to a special school in the Lake District. This was a really good time because there was hardly any bullying, and it was possible to talk through all the issues I had, and I played rugby to help deal with the anger. One year I even became the school sports personality of the year.
Believe it or not. Believe it or not.
So
Must have been more about my personality. Go on, carry on.
So school didn't prepare me for leaving at 16, where social services just dropped me off at a house, gave me money to pay for the rent and food, and said that's the way I'll deal with it.
Yeah.
At 16, back at the end of the 90s, there was no social care after 16. One of the other guys who lived in the room with me ended up bullying me, and life got more complicated again. So one day I made a shopping trailer for my bike and was coming home from the supermarket, and the wheels fell off. And I remember sitting beside the road, and I burst into tears thinking, I'm all on my own, nobody's going to come, and I just need help. So I decided to ring my mum, and I told her I was struggling, and asked if she could help me, but her reply was that I can't afford to, and that you couldn't live with me either. So eventually I moved to Bury St Edmunds, and I lived in the YMCA for 2 years.
Which ironically, it came full circle and now I'm working there.
Funny old world. So I got a council flat after that in 2005. During this time I became a lot more horrible, I was rude, and that's when I got overweight.
Still am overweight, but I think that's more to do with the fact we're locked in. Come on.
So I was full of anger and frustration. So this is where I started to come to faith, where the first time I really prayed was when I was travelling overseas, and for some reason there was always an empty seat beside me,
Always.
and I felt I was missing something. So I would ask God, why am I here? I was really looking forward to purpose and meaning around the ages of 1927. So on January 23rd, 2010, at 2:41 in the morning,
Yeah.
I was staggering out of a nightclub in Bury. I was quite merry, shall you say, and outside the club there was this lady and a South African guy with bright jackets on with the words written on the back, "Town Pastor." as a joke, I said, "Can I have a town pasty, please?"
Remember that was funny.
They
Even
laughed. Yeah, even they laughed, and we got talking about life and fears and God. They sent me an invitation to go to church, but I never followed up with it. But later in August, I was on course where I bumped into one of the town pastors again, and she invited me to go to church with her. So I went to church this time, but I felt really judged by people who knew my life, and something said to me that you don't need this and that you just need to leave. Later I felt you're not here for these people, you're here for God. I ended up at Ruffham and Bradfield Baptist. During this time I was having many personal issues and even experimenting with drugs. I even lived in Las Vegas for 6 months and visited some places you wouldn't find many Christians.
No.
Because of my drug issues, I needed some money, so I stole some out of a handbag at a nightclub, and I told the doorman that I'd found the purse. They didn't believe me, so the police arrested me and I was put on bail for 2 months. During this time, I was telling everyone I found the purse, and at the end of the first bail period, the police came round to extend the bail period for 2 more weeks. And that night I knew if I was going to be a Christian, I needed to stop lying and need to admit that I'd stolen the money. So I turned myself into the police and confessed what I'd done and followed the police processes from there. At church I'd been lying to people, so I stood in front of the whole church one Sunday evening and told them I'd been lying to them and that I'd stolen the money. Initially the church went very quiet, and afterwards people came up to me and encouraged me and loved me. After about 5 weeks of listening to Kenny, I was convinced about who Jesus was, and I knew I wanted to become a Christian. So after an evening service, I prayed with a lady called Kelly and gave my life to Jesus. At this time, I just knew I had done the right thing. I was more certain about this decision than anything else I'd done in my life. I knew a decision had been made, and I needed to live for Jesus. After this, I met a lady at church who was running Christianity Explored, so I did this course, and then I did the 12-week Alpha course. During the courses, I asked so many questions, and this helped me to believe more and more, and my faith grew more. Since I've become a Christian, I've had an anger management course, and I'm learning to forgive people. I've forgiven the guy who abused me when I was a kid. I still struggle with forgiving people, but God's still helping me. At least I'm not punching them now.
True.
One of the biggest changes I've made to become a Christian is my passion to tell others about Jesus. So I love being part of Christianity Explored and the other courses, and taking every opportunity I have to tell others about what Jesus has done for me.
And what I would like to point out is that, here I am now, literally maybe 10 years on, yet being a Christian at times is challenging. You do feel tested, you do feel like what's the point, but it's times like this when you thank God for what you have got and what you really appreciate what he has done in your life. He's gave me a beautiful wife, he's gave me a beautiful dog, he's gave me a beautiful home, and I just want to thank my church for seeing me through all of that, them times, all them disciple times, especially Claire, Richard, Dave, Nigel, all those people who assisted me throughout those times. And I just felt it was time to share my testimony again. I thank you for this time, and I hope I can hear from you soon.